coming.
Almost paradise. We're knocking on heaven's door. Almost paradise. How could we ask for more? I swear that I could see forever in your
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, we made it. Oh my, I've been running around the city. I had a flat tire. Hello, everybody. Wow. I was a few minutes behind there. We're here. Thank you so much for waiting. What the hell? Cheers to Chris leaving, I guess? I gotta take some notes there. Right at the end there. Hold on one second. Chris and Alana leave in separate cars? I feel like they were in separate cars because that was, they were filming their testimonials or whatever they do. I think that's why they were in separate cars there. Yikes! Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor in Paradise, a guy's review. Crafty Beach says that was bullying, in my opinion. All right, let's get into it. Bullying. Crafty Beach says Chris and Alana were bullied. All right. State your case. Let's hear about it. Were they bullied? Hold on a second. Oh, you can see me, right? Okay, wow. Alana says, what in the heck did I just watch? I thought I was losing my mind. Until the Demi finally came to voice of reason. Not harsh enough for Brendan and Piper. Way too harsh towards Chris and Alana. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that funny? Now, just hold on a second while I get situated here. Not really enjoying the music choice. Gonna need to work on a few things. Let me just get this party started. 228 in the live chat. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate that. Let's get some better jams going on here. I want some like happy jams. Yeah, let's do some happy jams. Give me a second. Feel free to call in. Got the voicemail number. Let me put that up right there. We'll be taking voicemails. Yeah, kind of too harsh on the younger guys. It makes me wonder, were they showing more respect to Brendan because he had been there for a little while? You know? Not to say that they were showing much respect to Brendan, but it makes you wonder, were they all in on Chris as the villain and they haven't gotten there yet on Brendan? Or is the timeline just off because sometimes the timelines are just a little foggy on what's actually going on there due to the edit? We'll have to see. Give me a second here. I'm going to change these beats. I want some good jams coming our way tonight. Do me a favor, bump the Harry on top of that like button, spike your coconut, lance your bass, and caress your baress on top of that like button. Do me a solid. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get rid of hopeful, and let's do happy music. I want happy beats. I'm setting the tone tonight that we are going to be happy. How does that sound to you guys? Feels a little choppy on my end. Oh, that's because my Photoshop is still open. Hold on, let me close my Photoshop. Oh my gosh, I have so many apps running right now. You know, normally that's not much of a problem until you're a live streamer, in which case you need to close off as many apps as you can. All right, let's get into it. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Jody says, do you think the followers get them respect? I mean, look, you can understand people wanting the followers. You know, you can make more money. The more followers you have, the more money you make, you know? So you can understand that desire. Like, I want more YouTube subscribers, but what am I willing to do to get it? How about make quality content for you guys? You know, that's what I'm trying to do. No shortcuts here. You know me, taking a long cut. Dave Neal with a long cut. Shadia says, I don't think they will actually come for Brendan. Oh, I think they will. We'll have to see. Jess says, 290 watching, 43 likes. Hit your like button and show Dave that love. Throw some love onto that like, if you will. Melissa says, how is this real? You know what? It's not real. It's just not real. Regine, caress your Burgess. Go for it. I came up with that earlier today. Real innovation happening here on the Dave Neal Enterprise. Nineveh says, with some prophecy here. Hold on, let's go to this. Give me a second here. Is it me or does this music sound horrible? We had such good vibes last night. I'm trying to get those good vibes back. I don't like whatever beats these things are. Give me a second to fix the music here. What the hell's going on? Too many apps open. If anyone was wondering, I invested in Bitcoin today and it immediately took a dive. So that's how it works. Sarah said, Dave, Derek and I did a really stupid intro. I sent it to you. All right, so I'm going to have multiple Bachelor in Paradise intros. I know we have one from Sophia coming. Jess said, LOL, now people are angry, Dave. Now, what's everyone angry about? What are we angry about out there? Are we angry about the way that Chris and Alana were treated? It feels like the chat is so out of context. Hold on, I'm catching my groove, folks. Shadia says, I think the problem was the way Chris went about it. He kissed Alana right in front of Jasenia. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it, folks. Let me make a rule book on what not to do in paradise. Should we do a rule book? Don't kiss somebody in front of the other person you're smooching. If you have to smooch, respectfully tell them you got to smooch and find a corner. Don't you know any better? You got to find a corner to smooch. All right. BT said, but Jasenia was all over Chris in front of Ivan as well. Well, now we have a conundrum. Boy, I tell you what, Jasenia got real feisty right there. I'm not judging her. Boy, this couldn't be worse music, and my internet's really slow. This is going to be one of those live streams where, like, things are just slow. Let's see if I can create some space. I'm going to empty my trash. I'm doing all the things you got to do to create some space here. Maggie says it was like high school. Calvin, our good friend Calvin. Calvin, are you the one from Memphis? Calvin said, I'm sick and tired of watching the bullying that takes place in this franchise. It makes me furious to the point of no return. I've never been so angry in my life. Calvin doesn't get angry if this is the angriest he's gotten over Bachelor in Paradise Season 7, Episode 7. I feel ya. I feel ya. Atomic Yoga Lounge says, people on the show just get greedy, think there is no limit. Well, I think this is the first season, and I could be wrong, where Bachelor in Paradise is breaking this fourth wall, and they're discussing the whole follower thing. Now, look, we know that that's part of the game. It's just not something you talk about on air. And everyone's saying, oh, it used to be, oh, so-and-so's here for the wrong reasons. And now they're saying what those reasons are. Just for follows. How funny and yet sad is our late-stage capitalistic world that people have to juice up their following to survive? I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not trying to cut any corners. I'm trying to get my following big too. You know? I'm just not going on a dating show and bumping Harrisons and, caressing my Burgesson all around town. I'm just trying to create content. I always say for YouTube, there's two things that'll get you views. Information and entertainment. If you can try to provide people both, you're in the clear. Some videos we make are a little, information heavy. And some videos don't have any information at all and it's pure entertainment. It's a little bit of both. Some videos you can do the nasty, combine information and entertainment, and you got yourself a party. All right, let's get some good music here. I'm having a real issue. I'm trying to catch my groove, guys. It's like you're playing baseball and you're throwing strikes. You're just not painting the corners. That's where I feel right now. It's like I'm not hitting people. We're not walking people, but I just don't feel like I'm in my flow state just yet. We'll get there. Click on some romantic summer vibes here. We'll get to your voicemails momentarily. 361 people in the chat, not too bad. Here's what I need from you guys. If you enjoy the East Coast after episode chat, make sure you're on that like button, share it with your friends. We always appreciate super chats. That'll keep the company running. All right. Here we go. Let's get to some romantic music. Maybe that's what we need. Some romantic music. Maybe some rom-com music. All right, let's go to the new comments, see what we have here. Liana says, Natasha deserved the same energy Jasenia got. I feel you there. Come on, what's up with my internet? What's going on? We got a problem. I don't know what's happening here. I'm trying to get my songs played. Trying to get my songs played. Don't make me sing a cappella. I'll do it. Is this good music? I don't know. Let's see if we like this. Chan said, let me get something straight. They didn't come for Brendan and Piper and insist that they leave the beach. Like, I'm genuinely confused. We're gonna have to see about this timeline. It might have been that producer said, hey, come for him next week. We're trying to get one thing done at a time. You know, I don't know. This is garbage music too. What's a guy got to do to get some good tunes up in here? I pay for this music. I'm gonna spend the whole episode trying to get us some good beats. Haley Crow is in the audience from Haley Crow Medicine Show. She says, there's just so much going on. It's too much for me to sort out in my head watching this season. Yeah, pop an Adderall and let's get into it. There is a lot to talk about this season. Sophia says, technical difficulties, music choosing Dave. This might do it for me. Sue Beyond Cheek says, why do we need music? We don't. I want it. I like to ramp that music up once in a while, wake myself up. Jacqueline Hall says, my brain hurts.
I've heard it said, I've come to believe that love is a bet. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and sometimes it calls
Tumbleweed
you
on the beach.
right in the mood.
It's too loud? All right.
Come to my table, come
Okay.
to my
I feel like I'm about to go to church. All right. Let's find something else. You know, I need to go back to the beats that I had yesterday. I'm telling you guys, with the right beats, you don't think it's important. With the right beats, we can go places. All right, 400 people in the chat. Let's get to some voicemails here. I'll play your voicemails because God knows I don't have the... I don't know. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Can you tell the difference? Did you guys see I got that flat tire today? Did anyone see my Instagram story? I got a flat tire. I went to my fiance's favorite dessert place. It's in one of the nicest parts of town. And I didn't wash my car, so my car is dirty. Handlebars are broken off. I look like complete trash. And I mean, real trash. And I go to her favorite, cupcake shop, and I get a flat tire. And I was like, all right, whatever, no big deal. By the way, my air conditioning's out of my car. And I got the energy of someone who's like trying to get a heart transplant. Like I got this... boy, I should show you guys. The whole thing melted. It was I had a beautiful strawberry shortcake with frosting, and my car's about 100 degrees, flat tire. I use one of these $10 pumps that I have that connects the cigarette lighter to the tire, and I blow it up a little bit. It doesn't even make it 2 blocks away. Boom, 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 boom. Complete. Because I thought maybe it was a slow leak. We'll be okay. It's a full-on flat. Luckily, right near my mechanic, he changes it for a spare. Doesn't charge me because he's a great guy. They're great people over there. And they give me the name of a tire place. I go to a tire place, and they fix it on the cheap. I mean, they put a gently used tire on for $35. It was a good deal. I gave the guy a nice tip. It was a good deal. I had to bless my lucky stars. But after that whole debacle, I finally made it home, and all of my Trader Joe's food had melted and fallen over because I ate it all in the trunk, and then I had to get to the spare tire. So there's peppers on the ground. The whole thing's a mess. I finally make it home half an hour into the episode. I was kind of like trying to keep up. So I missed the first 30 minutes on the East Coast. I'll catch the West Coast in a few hours. But anyway, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing, folks. So, so things are better now, but I'm a little disheveled. I melted the roses got smushed. I got her, it was today's our engage anniversary. So I was trying to do some last minute, get some last minute things, get some, get the nice sweets. And the sweets were still good. They just didn't look good. You know what I mean? It's all right. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's get to the juiciness. Oh, you didn't want my story. You just want the juiciness. All right. Sophia says, your car's old when you have a cigarette lighter. Do newer cars not have cigarette lighters? I guess that's me. Willie Billy said cupcake and roses. Yeah, you're dang right. You're dang right. Let's see if I can show you guys. Wait, oh my gosh, this music's not instrumental. Gosh, can I catch a break right now, guys? What the hell? Let me just retype in the website I go to. You know, there's a lot of work that's done behind the scenes here, and I don't know if it's my processors or if it's the internet, but things are just going slow. Willie Billy with a $5 super chat. Thanks for getting me going there. Jess says, my new car has one, but I think it's more of a charger thing. Yeah, well, you know, whatever that thing's called. What I call it, a cigarette lighter thing. I don't know. I don't actually have the thing that pushes in for the cigarette lighting. I don't have that. But yeah, my car's pushing 20 years old. My car is old enough for Nick Vial to want to date it pretty soon. Okay, folks. Wow. What are we doing? Come on. We're heating up. That one was for me. You know, sometimes you're having a bad set. You need to just go in and kind of tear something apart. So sorry for that collateral damage there. Sarah says, I missed D-Lars super chat. I got Willie Billy's. Let me go. Thank you so much for letting me know that. I'm going to go back to D-Lars super chat there. Apologies for missing that. I think my chat stream was a little jumpy right there. There it is. D-Lar with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Can only afford 10 Harrisons. Hopefully they'll bump around and create some more Harrisons. Absolutely. You know, you donate a Harrison, if you give a Harrison, you receive a Harrison. That's how law of the Harrisons work. Oh boy, we're a strange bunch, and I wouldn't. If someone said, "Hey Dave, I'll give you 10 times the amount of followers, but they'll be boring," or you can have your followers you have now, but they'll be weird, I go, give me the followers I have now. I love you guys, you weirdos. You strange people. All right, you guys are fantastic. So anyway, let's get, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to get into voicemails in a minute. I'm just trying to get that groove going. But thank you so much, D-Lars and everyone else, for doing the dang thing, for throwing some Harrisons into my pocket. Crafty Beach says Titus was fabulous. Yeah, they need people that can do live entertainment. Now, it's funny because Lance Bass does live entertainment, but I'm like, look, honestly, if there was some weird hosting gladiators where you pinned Lance Bass against David Spade against Titus, Lance Bass is my least favorite. He's my least favorite. I love David Spade, and I need to see more Titus. I like what I see from Titus. I thought he was going to be a perfect cast. The guy's got bravado up his Harrison. He's a great person for this. And David Spade, completely different, snarky, just brings that great energy, and he gives you another reason to watch the show. Lance Bass, it's bye from me, if you ask me. All right, here. Valerie says, it was definitely bullying, even though Chris was shooty on the part. Sage says, can we talk about how no one cancels Demi and how many followers Demi has, though she did the exact same thing as Brendan, Piper, and Chris Alana? Hey, you got a point there. I mean, if you're ever going to come at someone for being there for the wrong reasons, you know, what they should do defensively, just turn back around and say, hey, no, you're here for the wrong reasons, you know? I don't know. All right, we're all caught up. Let me make sure I'm caught up here on the chat. Shadia says, so far David Spade has been my favorite host. Well, David Spade, if you could measure someone's brain waves, he's got snark he's in the Hall of Fame of snark. He's going to give you some one-liners where you don't even know he's making fun of you until you go to bed the next night. And you're like, oh, that was a diss. He was making fun of me. That's what he's going to do. You know, whereas Titus, I still have to see a little bit more of him to kind of be able to gauge what he's doing there. But Lance Bass, I don't know. Some people loved him. Maybe I'm a little biased because of how I felt he did my guy a dirty, but not a fan. Not a fan, Lance. But let's see if we could have, by the way, 420 people in the chat. I guess that means if you're sparking one up, make sure to take that joint and put it out on the ashtray, which better be on that like button, right? Bing, right on top of that like button, an odd number of times. Make sure you do that. So we'll get to your voicemails in a minute. I'm still loading things up here if you don't mind. Like I said, we're operating a little slow on the tech side. That's on me. Go back to live mode. Does that mean I'm not in live mode? Hold on a second here. I thought I was in live mode. Maybe that's why I was running so slow. Give me a second here, folks. You guys could see me that whole time. Maybe you just couldn't see my... Okay, I think we might be going a little faster now. Maybe I was in the wrong mode. Let me ask you this. Do you want funk, beats, jazz, pop, or hip-hop? I'm letting you know. The first person to respond which you want. Beats, funk, jazz, pop, or hip-hop. And I'll tell you what. If anyone has any genre recommendations... Alrighty, I heard funk first. We'll start with funk, and then we'll go to pop. But if anyone... Okay, we got a lot of requests for funk here. So if anyone wants any music donations, a super chat will get me to change the channel. How about that? This is in the funk. It's called... This is called Casino Funk. So pull that arm down that slot machine and get out there. Funk 1. How about this? How about sexy funk? I'm going to click on sexy funk and see what that gives us. Don said, hey Dave, thanks for having this live chat. I missed last night. Boy, you missed out. Last night was wild. Last night was a wild live chat. We were checking out in real time how many followers people were losing. We'll do that in a second here. I've got Brendan and Natasha pulled up. So Brendan was losing about 2 to 5 followers per second there for a while. He was really hemorrhaging those followers. This was a good thing for Brendan because it kind of calmed the situation down. Because now people were more, worried about what's going on with Chris Conran. Let's see what sexy funk we can get going on here. Oh, I feel like this is gonna be it. Let's just start this whole thing over. You guys want to start this whole chat over? Hold on. Let's do a clean. Yeah. Can we get the sage going? Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start this puppy over. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tuesday night East Coast after episode live stream with Power Recapper, Linen Shirt Dave, spiking coconuts all across the beaches. Give it up, make some noise. Let's hear it from the back row. We're starting this party over right now. Everyone start moving those hips. You want to get in that? Let's party, folks. Come on, let's do it. Feeling that funk. I need a bass guitar. Can someone mail me a bass guitar right about now? Regine's got the vibe. Regine's getting it going there in Montreal. You like the jar? Yeah. What else do I have? It's hard to use. I need a stick. I actually looked at bongos on Amazon the other day because I was like, how great would it be if I just show up with a big old you know what I mean? I'll let this song do the work. I pay for it. All right, let's get into it. Feeling good. Chrissy says, Dave Neal, the next Peloton instructor. Belizean bad boy Dave Neal, aka Peloton peddler. The Peloton peddler. All right. Here we go. Let's get it going. Okay, here we go. So let's get to some voicemails. Let's hear what you guys have to say. I just had to change the vibe there for a second. There was something that was annoying me a little bit. Oh, the dog woke up, guys. We got Boone to wake up, so good for that. And let's get to some voicemails. Let's hear what you guys have to think. We'll start off in...
Hey, it's Christy from Missouri.
Missouri here.
I just want to chime in about why people weren't so hard on Brendan and Piper. Obviously, that's going to come up next week, but it sounds like, because the way Chris was acting, the manipulation with him was just up to a new level, like telling Justinian she was the one he was there for and saying, sweet nothings to her, a little bit more than what Brendan was saying to Natasha. So both guys were definitely in the wrong with what they were saying, but I think that's why they were so hard on Chris first. It's because he took it to a new level with Justinian, in my opinion, of course. See ya.
Bye. Thank you so much for the call. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to be careful if you're going to promise people the world and then another girl shows up and you're like, well, let's hold on to that spiked seltzer for a second. All right, let's go to Jeff calling us. You're up.
Hey, Dave, this is Jess calling for the second night in a row from Indianapolis. You're finally getting your technical difficulties sorted out as I leave this voicemail. But I'm calling to report the fact that Natasha, I don't think she has as many friends in Paradise as Brendan and Piper do, which is why people aren't going to bat for Natasha like they are for Jasenia, because Jasenia's got her whole Mean Girl crew, which includes Piper, to go to bat for her. And Brendan has guys like Riley and Ivan, guys that he knows from his season, the guys who were, really showing the bravado against Chris. Brendan's got those guys on his side, so they're going to be happy for him and for Piper. They probably hang out on the weekends. And they probably already knew he was dating Piper, and they could have told Natasha a long time ago. So, yeah, nobody's going to come for Brendan and Piper the way that they came for Chris and Alana just now. Chris and Alana don't have a crew like Brendan and Piper do, or like Jasenia does. The people with the bigger army are always going to win the war. That's just how it goes. All right, that's all I've got, Dave.
Well, thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
Keeping it cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for the call there. Absolutely. Look, we'll have to see. I don't know why Natasha didn't get. It's almost like they lit their tiki torches, they got their pitchforks out, and then they were ready to storm the Capitol, and then they just paused. They're like, "Oh, Chris Conran's a bad guy," and it's like Brendan's in the background of every scene. Like, everyone's like, "Yeah, let's get Chris Conran," and Brendan's like, "Go get him." He just knows his time's next. It's like when you're rooting on the. Is this funk? I don't know if I call this funk. Let's try something else. How about this elegant funk? Let's get that elegant funk, yeah. Let's get that elegant funk, yeah. All right, let's go to another voicemail. We got a lot of them loaded up. Oh, all right. How about Riley, though? Riley said some funny things. Riley's like, you got to go. You found your chick, you got to go. And it's like, Riley, you and Marissa are pretty much settled in. No one's trying to kick you guys out. I love Riley, but I'm just saying. The logic's not quite there. All right, let's go to Melissa in Boston. You're up next, kid. Give it to us, Melissa. Dude, Melissa in Boston.
Hey, Dave, it's Melissa from Boston. I never thought I'd be calling twice in one day, but here we are.
Here we are.
This one will be short. I just want to ask, as a first-time Bachelor in Paradise viewer, is it always this, synchronous, or I don't even know if that's a word, but I guess just, the parallels here feel too planned. The parallel between Piper and Brendan not getting any flack for what they did and then watching what happened tonight. And I don't know, it just feels really scripted. And I've seen other people say that in the chat. So I'm just curious what you seasoned VIP veterans have to say about that. Is this normal or is this special to this season? Thank you again for all of your content and look forward to hearing more.
Melissa in Boston, thank you. Now listen, I haven't watched the last 2 seasons of Bachelor in Paradise because I got so sick of it I had to quit for a while, you know what I mean? But your boy's back. So the question is it always this, I don't know if you were saying scripted or what, but there's clear storylines happening. No. This is a result of a 2-year hiatus and a lot of people trying to get their clout up. A lot of people wanting to get onto that beach. So the producers, they could pick and choose who they wanted. They had so many people to choose from that they picked hot dumpster fires, and they got what they paid for. And let me tell you something, they didn't pay much, and they ain't getting much in return. Regine says, can we talk about power attorney Riley? Listen, if I commit a crime on that beach, I'm having Riley represent me. I bet he's a great attorney. Oh, he's good. Because he looks like he could be your best friend or your worst enemy, and you want that in an attorney. Total power attorney move. Bree says Riley has issues, to be honest. State your case, Bree. We're here to listen. Do not disparage my Riley. Chrissy says, what type of toes does Riley have? I'm assuming Egyptian. It seems most people have Egyptian. I don't see him being a Greek toe, but then again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see which type of toe he has. If anyone has any information on that one, let me know. We'll go to our latest voicemail right here.
Hey, Dave. This is Joe. So I don't agree with the last caller. First of all, Joe does a podcast, I believe, with Natasha.
True.
And Riley, I don't think that he's like is he big? Does he have a big following?
No.
And those two kind of just went to bat just for Yesenia. Like they're the last people I thought would go to bat for Yesenia.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Everyone was pretty mad about Natasha, but they just didn't really go full force the way that Joe and Riley did. But I think they will. It shows in the previews that next week they'll come. I think that what I think happened tonight is that it boiled up. They were ticked off already that it already had happened with Piper and Brendan, and then this just put it over this just put them over the edge. And they didn't have as much loyalty to Chris, and I don't even know what that girl's name was, Alana? Whatever her name was. And I think him being so disrespectful as to kiss that girl all night in front of all of them when they were supposedly Yesenia and Chris were like the couple that all of them had saw and Chris saw, and everyone saw like Chris love bombing Yesenia the whole time, and then he was just kissing that girl and just totally disrespecting her at the party. I think that's what made everyone furious. But that's just my take on it. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks for the call. I was checking out Alana's Instagram to see if she made any posts. She has not. No post regarding the topics at hand here. And then but yeah, you're right about Riley and Joe. They don't really have a vested interest in Yesenia. So I think they were just being kind of big brotherly. They saw someone that was hurting, and they immediately took her side as the victim in that situation, which isn't wrong. Breaking update, we have Natasha Parker's live Instagram ticker. She passed 250,000 followers. That's over 400% more than she had one night ago. Pretty wild there as she continues to go. Brendan was at 348 last night. And whenever at 348, he is dipped below 300. He's down to 289,000. 289,000 there. So not looking good. All right, let's go to Calvin from Memphis. Our buddy Calvin in the chat. You're up.
What's up, Dave? It's Calvin from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm so angry after watching tonight's episode. I feel like Chris and Alana were bullied out of paradise. I didn't condone how they were acting or whatever, but the way everyone else was acting, I thought it was a sign of bullying, and I felt they were bullied out of paradise, and I'm very, very angry because it was no excuse for how the entire cast acted towards them tonight. And again, I don't approve of how Chris acted at the welcoming party, but still, there was no excuse for them to bully him and Alana out of paradise. That's just how I feel. All right, have a great night. Bye.
Calvin in Memphis, Tennessee says they were bullied out of paradise. That that sounds like a heavy metal band. Like, coming up next at 10 p.m., we have a set from Bullied Out of Paradise. It's all about how, like, your dad hates you. So Danielle says, I was watching Dave on my TV and thinking I was typing in the chat on my computer. Turns out I was on Fantake's page. Sorry, Dave. And then Danielle responds with, they were probably so confused about why I said funk. You're just on the page, funk. And they're like, what are you talking about? Anyway, thank you so much. And of course, let's go up to Brianna in the Bronx. You are next.
Hi, Dave. This is Brianna from the Bronx. I cannot believe that I would get more annoyed this episode than I did the previous one. But what is the selective outrage? I don't know if this was filmed out of order or not, but it's like everyone got amnesia because no one kept this energy for Natasha, but everyone is rallying around Jasenia as if she, one, didn't do the exact same thing to Ivan, and two, the exact same thing didn't happen to Natasha, but like way worse, and no one said anything. If anything, they were like, oh, well, you should have known, but not for Jasenia, though. I am so not, I'm heated, and this is exactly what we're talking about when we say that Black women are least protected and least respected, because how does she not get the same support from her peers that Jasenia does? And with Joe being the ringleader of this whole thing, I feel as if, isn't he Natasha's like best friend more than he would be Jasenia's best friend? I don't know if it's Jasenia that's rallying these people.
I'm losing you.
If it was their, like, I just don't know. I just don't like the double standard, and it's so fake. I can't. Thank you. Anyway, bye.
Thank you so much for the call. Sorry, I was having a hard time hearing you there, but you're essentially saying that it's not fair that no one stuck up for Natasha. I guess the question is, we can't know for sure. Did people think that Natasha was sort of in on it in a way? Did people think that Jasenia was more blindsided? I don't know. I don't have the answers there. But it obviously we were obviously picking up on some sketchiness. By the way, 473 people in the chat. Thank you so much for that, everybody. Appreciate that. Live look at Brendan's Instagram down to 289. In a couple minutes, he'll be at 288. Natasha, on the other hand, is up to 259. Oh, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, Natasha Parker. Breaking news update is brought to you by Coke Zero. Natasha Parker is at 260,268 followers. This has been a breaking news update brought to you by Calvin in Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, Calvin. All right, you got the breaking news update there. All right, hit the like button if you don't mind. We'll keep on rocking with this party. I wanted to show you guys what my cake looked like tonight here. So let me see if I can pull this up on Taj's Instagram, show you guys. All right, dirty. It's a stanky beat. Oh, got the end of it. Jamie said, Alana dropped Chris like a hot potato. Yeah, it was so funny. Chris is like, I think we should go. Alana's like, I just got through customs. Wait, I still smell like Delta. You know what I mean? The airline and the variant. All right. Hack jokes here. All about them. All about those hack jokes. By the way, my Instagram went up to 11,000. So thank you guys so much for pushing my Instagram up to 11,000. You guys want to see this? Let's see if we can see what Tasha's got going on here. So if anyone wants to go follow, for my 2-year engage-iversary, you guys can go follow Tasha. This was taken half an hour ago over here. I'm going to show you how sexy is this with this funk music. That's coconut whipped cream. There he is.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, get that up there.
God.
Power recapper. Coconut whipped cream. Does anyone need to see that again? Oh. If my computer crashes, I'm gonna boot it back up. So if my system crashes, just give me 5 minutes and I'll come back up. I don't like what's going on right now. This usually happens before a crash happens. I try to restart my computer and clean it up before every stream, but we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Let's keep the party going and get to some more voicemails here.
Hey, David, everyone. It's Sarai. I was just wondering what's going to happen tonight on Bachelor in Paradise. Are we going to actually see our new host, or is it still Lance? So, or do we not even need a host anymore? We're just going to watch the volcano erupt from one part to another part to another part to another part. And I want to see who Demi is going to go after next. Now that new women are going to come in, is she going to switch sides, or is she still going to say guys only? Is she going to get Kenny's head on the totem pole? Because that would be interesting. And also, side note, I had my record best run today. I ran over 6 miles today with my buddy Rocket. It was actually nicer weather.
6 miles.
So I am on a roll today, and I heard from work, so I'm happy. All right, see you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, so the deal is each host gets 2 episodes, give or take. You know, some bleed into each other's episodes. So Lance is done. He's out. Yesterday, we didn't have a host at all, right? We had nothing. They were just a free fall happening. Let's go here. Let's go back to Jill. Let's go back to Jill in Florida, and then we'll go to, I think, Melissa
Dave,
after that.
it's Joe from Florida. My last voicemail.
Keep calling.
The last caller asked if this season is more scripted than the others. Last season, which was 2 years ago, Demi had a scripted storyline from the producers where someone had to keep her on because they wanted an LGBTQ storyline, where they had her lesbian girlfriend who she broke up with after the season. They literally just wanted that storyline on the show. And that was absolutely 100% scripted. So, yeah, they do have scripted storylines. I think what the producers are doing, what the contestants are getting smart, and they know that they can make their living off of getting these followers. So they're getting a little too savvy, and the producers are basically outing them for what they're doing with their followers and coming on the show with people. And I actually love that they're outing them on the show.
Yes.
For doing this, because I think it'll stop some of them from coming on Paradise, for trying to come on Paradise and doing this in the future, hopefully. Because I don't think they want them to do this on the show. And if they do, it makes for good drama if they do it on the show and they're outed. But I think they want to stop them from doing this and ruining the show going forward. But if they do it, it'll still make for good drama, because they're going to embarrass the shit out of them. Anyway, bye.
The question I have, and thank you for the voicemail, there's what's stopping, what we just saw in Katie Thurston's season was every guy was saying another guy's there for the wrong reasons. What's stopping them everyone's going to go try to build followers. So I kind of reject that accusation that everyone makes. Oh, so-and-so's here just to build followers. That's what they're all trying to do. They're going on a show, not getting paid that much money, and they may become the villain or not. It's a risk they're taking. Maybe they get a few followers. Maybe they lose 50,000 or so. That's the risk they're taking. I'm going to have to see what my follower count looks like there. I'm sure it's like 1 a day. Bink, bink, you know what I mean? But we're going to check it out. All right, let's go to Mercedes in Albany. You're up.
Hey, Mercedes from Albany, New York. And I wanted to get your opinion on the whole everybody going after Chris for what he did to Jasenia, but nobody has said anything to Brendan yet. Why would you think that is? All right. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, Mercedes, calling in. German engineered from Albany, New York. My thought with this scenario is that they are just separating the storylines, like that these are the main storylines for the season. People that like each other like each other. You're not going to get many stories. By the way, for a second there, Brendan's Instagram following was at 0. I thought we had some breaking news, but it turns out it was just my computer glitching. So you're not going to get too many more like dramatic storylines. So my thought is there's 2 things happening side by side: Brendan and Piper and Chris Conran Jasenia, Alana, and that scenario. And they showed us yesterday Brendan and Piper. They're not leaving right away. Now they're showing us this one. This consumed the episode, and then they're going to come back with the big story, which is Brendan and Piper. So my guess is they just put that on the back burner because that's what they can do. There's 10 cameras running. They can just decide what they're going to clip out and run it out of context. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Let's see. I'm wide open on voicemails. Oh, we got some more voicemails. Ebony from Baltimore, you are up.
Hey, this is Ebony from Baltimore. I guess I just do not understand,
Me neither.
like previous callers have said, the double standard. And honestly, I don't even think it's a double standard because you can't even compare the two. Because, first of all, Natasha's situation was far worse. Jasenia and Chris, Jasenia actually had something with Ivan and then dumped him for Chris.
True.
And then Chris had this whole thing with Alana outside and then instantly dumped Jasenia. However, Natasha and Brendan, they met in Paradise, and Brendan actually went out with Demi and said on the date with Demi that he had a stronger connection with Natasha. And if I remember correctly, he actually kissed Natasha after they had a little thing when she was rubbing his back or whatever. And apparently that wasn't the only kiss. So I'm just confused where he said there wasn't a romantic connection. And also, let's talk about how at least Chris had the decency to pretend to feel sorry for what he did to Jasenia, whereas Brendan literally laughed in her face and said some very mean and horrible things to Natasha, basically saying she was crazy and no one wanted her or found her attractive, and they literally had a friendship and that was it, which is ridiculous. And lied to her about the full-blown relationship that he had with Piper outside of the show, before Paradise. So I don't think you can really compare. And that energy that they had, excuse me, that energy that they had for Chris was totally misdirected. They should have had all that energy to Brendan and Piper. Because Piper, she didn't feel sorry at all. It was crazy. I don't understand what's going on there. But justice for Natasha.
Ebony from Baltimore, ladies and gentlemen. Justice for Natasha. You're next, Bachelorette 2022. All right, thank you so much for the phone call. Yeah, you hit all the chords there. You nailed it. I mean, that's a lot of information to cover. What? I saw you started coughing. I get it. Same thing happens to me. I get Bachelorette phlegm. Too much Bachelor loogie coming up. But you nailed it. Nothing else to say. I could hear your accent coming in more and more the more you talked. I don't know if that was me or you, but I really was vibing with you. Thanks so much for the call.
Hey, Dave. It's Amy from Georgia. I was just wondering if you think they're going to implement a system where everyone on Paradise could vote a couple off because they met somebody before the show. Just curious about your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.
That's a great idea. Lost my pen. That's a good idea. Now, for a system, I think the way that this has to work out, it can't be a simple majority. The way to vote people out is you would need to hold an emergency tribunal. So I'm going to write this down. Emergency tribunal. And then you're going to have somebody, and maybe this will be me. Tell you what. Ooh, that's a good song. Let me see if I can find my ref hat. Because if I can ref the emergency tribunal, we could get a prosecution and a defense. If there is no one willing to defend, if the defense can't provide their own lawyer, we'll get a public defense attorney out there to look over them. I think what you need is this. If there's 20 people on the beach and you want to vote off 2 of them, the other 18 people have to come together and unanimously vote them off. It can't be a simple majority. It has to be egregious, because otherwise this will be abused. You'll get people that have some, the James and Thomases of the world. They'll get in there and they'll abuse it, not because they want to and because they're a bad person. Just because. Sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. So anyway, I don't know what I was trying to say. But, if we were going to vote people off, I think it would have to be a full majority, democracy rule there. But with Chris Conran, he didn't have to leave. He could have just wrote it out. What if he goes, look, let them vote me out. If someone doesn't want to give me a rose, so be it. I'm going to let Alana pursue other dates, and I'm going to pursue other dates. But we picked up the note, and we deeply apologize. Instead of just canceling them off the show, take a night, do some morning yoga on the beach, and just apologize. Ever think of that? Just giving an apology? All right, Calvin's calling back from Beale
Hey, Dave,
Street.
it's Calvin again.
My guy.
Also want to say that what happened tonight reminded me of Sarah on that season and how she was treated. I think Jasenia is a mean girl. Yes, I felt bad for her when Chris was making out with Alana in front of her at the welcoming party, but at the same time, it was no excuse for how she took part in all the bullying that was going on. And yes, it was bullying, I feel like. So, I just hope that there's a tell-all like they usually do at the finale, and Chris gets a chance to explain himself and also stand up to everyone that was involved in what went down tonight. So thank you very much and have a great night.
Calvin from Beale Street. I just said you're from Beale Street. I don't know where you're from. From Memphis, Tennessee. You're the only 10 I say. Okay. So, Calvin, thank you so much. But I love the name Calvin. You don't hear too many Calvins out there. Obviously, we have Calvin and Hobbes, Calvin Klein, and then Calvin in Tennessee. I think you're the third Calvin. I don't know any other Calvins. Can anyone think of another Calvin Coolidge? Maybe you got former President Energy, Calvin from Tennessee. Alrighty then. Whitney says these callers are spot on tonight. I got to say, I'm not here to compete with other recappers, try to be better. All I got to say is this. The percentage of people that call in, I don't screen my calls. I take them all. The percentage that call in, you guys give me so much good insight onto the show. So thank you guys so much for that. Melissa said Calvin Harris, we have Calvin and Hobbes, Calvin Harris, which I believe is a DJ, right? And we've got Calvin Coolidge. I think that's a name. And we have Calvin from Tennessee. There you go. Sonia says, breaking news. We have breaking news, everybody. Hannah, Ann, and Mike are on the Ultimate Surfer. I'll take nobody cares for 1,000. You've hit a daily double. Thank you so much for that breaking news. All right, Hannah, Ann. I'll have what she's smoking. All right, let's keep it going here. Calvin Johnson. We have Calvin Johnson. She can stand up for herself without getting her whole clique to force him off the show. Yeah, Jasenia, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know me, fence teetering Dave. I'm not trying to have a strong opinion in either direction, but it must be difficult for women to express their emotions and not come off the wrong way, because Jasenia was expressing her emotions, and viscerally, I was like, yikes. She's like, yeah, you gotta go. Everyone, and then Alana's like, does anyone care what I have to say? No. And Alana's like, okay, sorry about that. Oh boy. And I'm thinking, is this a bias I have, or is Jasenia just like, does a lot of rage come out? I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know. Let's go to Amanda calling in from Wisconsin. You're up.
Hey, Dave. This is Amanda calling from Wisconsin. I'll change up the subject a bit. I think Demi tonight was pretty disappointing. She was saying some really, cruel things about Mari. I think they were pretty unwarranted. And then I think she was also rewriting history a bit with her relationship with Kenny. Thinking their time in the Boom Boom Room was a bit more, emotional than it actually was. I mean, even when she pitched it to him, it seemed more like a power play than an emotional thing. But that being said, too, I think Kenny has impressed me with how he's handled this love square that he has going on. I didn't really expect it from him, but he's been really honest and pretty impressive. So thanks, Dave.
Well, thank you so much. Amanda in Wisconsin. Yeah, Demi, I mean, look. Excuse me. Every day, you're going to get a different Demi. Every day, one day she's got the fake eyelashes on and she's going to give you that hardcore Demi. And then other days you get docile Demi. You never know what kind of Demi you're going to get. I just pulled up my Instagram here. 11,089. Boy, moving slowly today. Puts it into comparison. I don't have a big following. It's fine. Whatever. What can you do? 11,089 there. No one cares. All right, moving on. Meanwhile, Natasha, she's just got the whole world on her shoulders. Maybe we can get that up to 11,100. How about that? Maybe I'll build 11 this whole thing. Alrighty then. I think we're up to date on phone calls, so please call in with your voicemails. 441 in the chat. Bump your Harrison on top of that like button. Lance your bass. Sling your spade. Spike your coconut. And caress your Burgess right on top of that like button. Do me a solid. Jess with a public service announcement says bullying is unwanted aggressive behavior among school-age children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. Yeah, that is true. Bullying is not just, if you're just mean to someone once, you're an a-hole. But we really have redefined the term bullying. Bullying is like consistent harassment of somebody. Sophia said, I would call in, but I missed the show, so I'm lost here. Hey, no big deal. No big deal at all out there. All right. I think we're going to get going in a little bit. We've been at it for an hour. My computer's been fried for about 72 minutes of that. I don't know. I'm not, and it could just be me. Let me know. Maybe you'll call in and disagree. I felt like last night was a bigger shock than tonight. Is that just me? Lauren says, Jasenia owes 0 apologies. Sarah says, it was just mean, not bullying. So I guess that's the question, bullying or not bullying. Janice Woods says, Jasenia thinks she is all that, and how dare someone drop her, LOL. However, she was fine with dumping Ivan. Good point. Where's the justice for Ivan out there? By the way, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We have a breaking news story hitting us right now here on the live stream. I'm trying to punch through, but it's not going through. All right. Okay, you know what? Maybe we don't have a breaking news story. Jeez, what the hell? My buttons aren't working. I think we're about to experience a crash on my page. There it goes. Hey, there it is. 11,094. Thank you guys so much. That was breaking news. We're at 11,094. Oh, doing the Lord's work, aren't we? Okay, here we go. I'm out of voicemails. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you could battle till the cows come home as to whether or not Jasenia was bullying. I mean, it's just kind of a sticky chain of BT says, I followed you, Dave. Thanks so much. Broken news, more like it. Yeah. When the news breaks, I break it. I'm going to restart my computer and clean things out for the late night live stream, so don't you guys worry. Miriam Hernandez says, Jasenia did the same thing to Ivan, plus the Brendan and Natasha was way worse. I'm not going to be able to sleep. Why aren't they standing up for Natasha? Well, we're going to have to see how that plays out. I kind of just think, and I also wonder, is there an edit where last night we saw the issues with Piper and Natasha, and I'm wondering if there's a way that the Alana stuff actually happened first. Does that make any sense? I'm just sniffing an editing issue happening. Like sometimes they'll show one thing in like when Blake Moynes arrived on Bachelorette. They didn't show him to like episode 4, but he actually arrived like closer to episode 2. They just kind of like weren't ready for that storyline. So I don't know if it's anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big breaking news story. Are you guys not seeing this? I'm seeing this on my end. I don't know why we're not seeing it right here. I think we just have a delay happening on my screen capture here. Because I'm reporting on my end, we have 11,101 followers on my Instagram. That's right, folks. 11,101. I don't know why I'm not seeing it right here. We have such a delay happening. It's almost like I'm seeing into the future. Could I possibly be seeing 1 minute into the future? You guys are still seeing 11,094, but on my screen I'm seeing 11,101. So clearly, let me see. Maybe if I go back here, clearly my information is just really breaking down over here. Gregory Gutierrez says, Dave, respect my time with Tia. Boy, Tia is one of those. There's something about Tia. I don't know if it's the accent. I don't know what it is, but Tia, she's okay in my book. I like Tia. Big fan of Tia. I think she's got a good personality. Could Tia ever be Bachelorette? Let me know. What do you guys think? Could Tia ever be Bachelorette? Stir Crazy says, you're special, Dave. You're dang right. Let's see if we got a solution here. Let's see. There it is, folks. All right. We are refreshed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special breaking news update. It is 8:04 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm proud to report 11,104 followers on my Instagram account. This was a breaking news update. Thank you. The news breaks, and we broke it. Moving on, folks. Yeah, my buttons aren't working. Everything's breaking right now. There it is. I got these buttons I press to turn between the channels. Everything's breaking. It's all right. You know, for Christmas this year, I'm buying myself a brand new laptop. It's supposed to come out in October or November, so we're just waiting on that to happen. Waiting on it to happen. Thank you, everyone, for the follows. Yeah, Virginia says editing was odd tonight. Yeah, that's so when people say, why isn't everyone mad? It's like, well, let's just wait and see if they get mad at Brendan and Piper. I almost feel like there's just two different universes happening. I don't know. We'll have to see. Caitlin6268 says, I think it's possible you're seeing the future. I think it could be. I'm seeing a little bit of the future. Christine Marciano says, Dave, did you just like yourself 6 times? I've been liking myself since I turned 13. Hey, folks. How are you? Gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Christine Marciano says, Natasha for next Bachelorette. I agree. I don't see how it's anyone but Natasha. All right, another phone call from Tennessee.
Hi, Dave. I'm calling from Tennessee. I just want to weigh in on the Brendan, Tasha, Piper situation. Like, they got all over Chris's back. I kind of felt like it was bullying. I kind of felt like Riley was a bit much. Because I'm like, why did you come at Brendan like that? And you're saying you're a man of honor, but, yeah, I wasn't feeling the whole speech. And I'm thinking, and then that whole Marissa and him thing, it's just real shady. I think he chose Marissa because she was the weakest link. And as far as grocery store Joe, yeah, I'm not feeling the whole thing. But my thing is, why are they afraid to speak up against Brendan and Piper? Because I really felt bad for Chris, and I forgot the female's name, because I really don't even think they had a relationship before. And the way they did, and the way she did Chris with not letting him in the back of the car, I was like, oh my God, I felt so bad for Chris. And I'm like, Team Chris, like, give the guy a break. He was too afraid to talk. And Riley, I don't like you. Peace.
You're so funny. What a great call. How funny. Thank you so much. I keep on changing the scene back, and it keeps pushing back there. So I think all of those times I jammed it are all coming true right now. So I'm so sorry for people if it keeps flipping back and forth. It's because I think I don't know, guys. I'm trying my best. Hey, Jody with the super chat. Let me try to get to this here. I'm going to try to pull it up, but I'm having some issues with my screen. Jody says, Dave, please be conscious of the way you speak about a woman of color expressing her emotions about being lied to, used, disrespected, and humiliated. Well, Jody, thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I prefaced my comment by saying, hey, is this wrong of me to feel like Jasenia was coming off like, yeesh? You know what I mean? So I'm understanding, I am understanding that I'm questioning my potential bias there, but she was coming off like, very angry. Very angry. And I guess the question is, does she have the right to be? In which case, fine, express your emotions. Absolutely. But like some are saying, didn't she? I mean, it's a little different what she did to Ivan, I guess. But she, when she was the one leaving Ivan, she was like, right? Because she left Ivan. Now help me with the timeline here. She left Ivan, and she was kind of okay. And Ivan's like, what was that? And she's like, I just don't know. And then when Chris leaves her, she's like, what do you think you're doing? Get out. You got to go. And then Alana's like, can I just tell you no, shut up, Alana. No one cares, But anyway, so I'm fully aware that I'm wondering if I'm reacting to this in a way that's like me, where she should be acting that way. But then again, everyone's calling her a bully, so it's like clearly there's something there, you know what I mean? I appreciate the super chat. Ooh. That's a lucky number right there. It's almost a palindrome. 11,113. I just missed it. That's gotta be a lucky number right there. 11,113. All right, here we go. I was gonna get going, but we keep increasing our followers here, so let's get some more voicemails in. If you've got a voicemail, now's the time to leave it. 401-213-9828. Again, 401-213-9828. You can leave a voicemail right now. Now's your chance to call. I think Tennessee has the most voicemails of the night. I think that's the most voicemails. I think Tennessee there. So let's go. Love Tennessee. You got I'll tell you Tennessee places I've been to. I've been to Chattanooga. By the way, did we just lose followers? What the hell was this? Hold on a second here. I need to turn this app down. I had 11,113, and then we just went down to 11,108. What the bejesus is going on over there? I'm trying to build a gosh dang empire here. Dave Neal Enterprise cannot be under 11,113. Not on my watch. Did someone friend and unfriend? A follow-unfollow happening? Don't give me that Brendan treatment. Oh, there it is. Even better. Never mind. I take that back. All right. I'm going to get out of that. It's annoying. It's crashing my whole system. Make a wish. I wish I was watching football and not the show Bachelor. Alrighty. Trying to get to what you guys got going on here. 479 in the chat on my end. Make sure you bump your Harrison on top of that like button, lance your bass, sling your spade, spike a coconut, and caress your Burgess onto that like button an odd number of times. Don't forget that. Tomorrow night in Hollywood, I've got a stand-up show. Friday and Sunday, I've got stand-up shows in Manhattan and Brooklyn. So if you want to come to those shows, slide into my DMs. I'll let you know about them. And I'll be making an infographic tomorrow about those shows in case you want to come. Tasha and I will be going to Fashion Week in New York City. New York City! That's right, folks. All right, let's wind this puppy down. Winding it down, we'll be back at 10 o'clock for the after episode live stream. So, hold on a second. Hey, Tasha. Could you do me a favor? Could you put on ABC and pause it? On the Hulu live stream? Thank you so much. Were you sleeping? Yeah, all right. Christina Norman is in the house. Let me go back to my other page here. Did we address Joe not standing up for his co-host Natasha and Brendan while he's on a witch hunt for Chris? Well, we don't know for sure. I'm not willing to call people out for standing up for Natasha or not until we have the full scenario. We just don't know. I have this feeling that scenario is not done with, so I'm really not too sure. We've got a couple voicemails. Let's get to them.
Hey, Dave. This is Kelly from Houston, Texas. Go Texas. This isn't about the show. This is about your stream. I love it, and I'm going to join Instagram just so that I can bump up your numbers. You are fantastic. Bye.
How about that? Houston, Texas coming in big. Thank you so much. Who knew? We need to do this more often. Who knew? We're having a whole pledge-a-thon happening here. All right, couple more voicemails. We have a 4-second voicemail and then a 53-second voicemail from the same number. I'm going to guess the 4-second voicemail was an error.
Hey, Dave. This is Destiny from Tennessee.
Destiny.
Just thought I would keep up with the Tennessee for you.
A lot of Tennessee.
Obviously, I think everybody kind of feels the same way about what happened tonight. A little bit confused about why Natasha isn't getting the same justice, may we say, as Jasenia got. Same story, but just to change it up a little bit, I'm curious how everybody's feeling about Becca and Thomas. I don't really have an opinion about Thomas. I don't love him. I don't hate him, but I really enjoy Becca, and I'd like to see her happy. They look cute together, and just kind of wondering how everybody feels about that. You're doing a great job. Thanks for everything you do and for keeping us entertained. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye, Destiny. And the rest of Tennessee, are you guys all watching at the same place? You guys are all calling in. I appreciate you. Voicemails 401-213-9828, 401-213-9828. So anyway, here we go, folks. What do we got going on here? Thomas and Becca. See, I didn't touch anything. What the hell's going on? My system's possessed. Thomas and Becca. I'm happy for them. I never believed Thomas to be that slimy. I think there could be a scenario in which Thomas is like a smart guy, but he's not like, he doesn't have the reality TV IQ, which isn't always a bad thing for a real relationship. You know what I mean? Can you imagine a real relationship? Your biggest flaw is that you're not good on reality TV, you know? So maybe Becca likes a smart guy. You know, I think Thomas is smart in one way, but maybe he's, like I said, maybe he's just not smart with playing the game, and he's always gotten away with speaking his truth. You know, the more you hear about Thomas, the more you realize, like, look, he seems like a decent guy. He helped raise his family from a young age, and like, look, I don't think he's as much of a devil as some of the guys think that he is. I think he's just not that great on the show, and that's fine too. So I am excited to see where their relationship goes. Yeah, Bethany, thank you so much for encouraging people to spike the coconut on top of that like button. We had a monumental day today. We hit, I think, over 80,000 views, maybe 100,000. It was a wild day right now. Gregory Gutierrez says, my girlfriend is shaking her head at the Piper intro drama. Are you watching this on the West Coast time? I guess I'm going to get out of here pretty soon. I know we're still at 450 people, but I'm going to get out of here in a little bit here. So I can go watch the West Coast time with you guys. Paige Collins with a super chat says, I think it's okay for Jasenia to defend herself. Riley and Joe were way more aggressive. Jasenia wasn't the bully. Ganging up on Chris was bullying. I'm not using the B word too quickly on my end, but by all means, call it what you want. You know, just like when people say, oh, that was gaslighting. I go, look, people, you know, I'm not going to use these words. It was toxic. What happened last night, of course, with Brendan, but like, until I've got consensus from psychologists what happened, I'm just not going to speculate on these terms, because I've just learned that, I don't know. Alrighty then. Let's see. This is a long voicemail, so let's see if this is any good.
It's so funny to me every time I hear this thing say, keep it under 30 seconds. This is Kim from Dallas, Texas, and Tennessee may have the most calls tonight, but last night, Texas was killing it. Anyway, I missed, like, the 15-minute window when they actually were, I guess, quote-unquote, bullying. I didn't see that. All I knew was I came back in, and all of a sudden, Chris was talking about leaving the show. So I'm going to have to rewatch that part, but this may be unpopular, but I am wondering if Brendan and Piper, obviously they had plans, they were together before the show, yes, but they seem so not wise that I'm thinking he came on the show, he knew she was coming on the show. I think they thought they were both just going to come on the show and end up being together and ride the whole season out. But what happened was the producers know what they're doing, so they held her off. So he had to, find a way to stay on the show. I don't think necessarily that was part of his plan. That was what he had to adapt to do. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm thinking that's what he had to adapt to do. What's so bad about Brendan is his attitude and the way he talked about Natasha, of course, and the things that they're saying. And so, they are suspect. But on the preview, it showed, obviously they turn on Brendan and Piper, and we'll see that Monday, I believe.
Tuesday.
And they'll end up leaving the show. But it showed him responding to them. And again, we see a different side of Brendan. This is probably the real Brendan. And so that's it. I just wanted to show that part. And I can't wait to see what happens, because I can't believe the chaos that occurred to cause Chris and Alana to leave the show. She came on the show cocky and left the show embarrassed. And then Chris, I know this is long, but when Chris first came on, I was not really feeling him. I don't know why. I just was not really feeling him, and I felt bad because I thought Jasenia was making a mistake. She didn't have to stay with Ivan if she wasn't feeling him, but I thought choosing Chris was going to be a mistake. It was just something that I felt inside about him, and it turned out to be correct. I'm so sorry that this is long. I have more I can say, but I'm going to get off of here. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for the call. I love that you said you're going to get off of there at 2 minutes and 57 seconds when it automatically cuts you off at 3 minutes. That's like when you hang up on someone right when they're about to hang up on you. No, you can't quit. You can't fire me. I quit. Right at the end. Thank you so much for the call. Call anytime, please. Text us. We love you. So I got a comment on my pen here. This is the Sharpie S Gel 0.5. The 0.7 is too thick. Wait, the 1.0 is too thick? What about the... There's 1.0. Are you sure? You're sure it's not a 0.8? Tasha's pen-splaining to me that the Sharpie, this is the 0.5. This is the good one. The 1.0 is way too thick, unless you like it that way. But this is better for writing. The other one's kind of too, it doesn't dry as fast, you know what I mean? Anyway, nobody cares. All right, folks. We're going to get out of here in a minute. We're down to 420. So, no, this isn't a weed pen, although I'm sure you could somehow make it one. This is called a power recapper pen. This is what we use to be powerful recappers. All right, thank you so much for the voicemail. Oh, we got a couple more coming in. Oh, boy, we have a lot. All right, let's get through these. Let's go for it. Oh, no, I already played those two. Here we go. This is a 817 number. Leslie from Texas.
Leslie from Texas. And I was calling because I agree with one of the last callers that was saying how she doesn't like Riley. I was never really a big fan of Riley, but y'all in the chat are super Team Riley for the most part. I just remember on his season he was kind of aggressive in some against towards the guys. And I don't know, that just kind of rubbed me off the wrong way. And then he also, I don't know, he just comes off as I don't know, I guess maybe it's my own trauma, being just uncomfortable with guys who are kind of super smooth and suave like that. To me, I feel it's too much and it's an act. But again, that just might be my own experiences. But anyway, bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so you're triggered by men that have too much charm is what you're saying. Riley's got the charm, but I think he's got depth to him. He's a power attorney. The guy's got something there. North Carolina, you're up.
Hey, Dave, calling from North Carolina. I do find tonight's episode very interesting. We'll have to see how next week plays out in order to judge. I do want to mention the fact that it is funny how Yesenia was not talking to Chris at all when he was around the girls, but as soon as she had support from Joe and Riley, she got very defensive and ballsy. Keep doing what you're doing. Live your life.
Live your life. Thank you so much. Yeah, Jasenia, she had a little bit of ruminating happening. When you just get angrier and angrier, you're you ever have that where your best friend's yeah, man, F that person. You're you know what? F that person. They did you wrong. They did me wrong. Are you going to stand for that? I'm not going to stand. And he just goes back and forth until you're like ready to throw a rock through their window. I get it. Ladies be tripping. Am I right, ladies? All right. Come on now. We're kidding. All right. Here we go.
Hi, this is Miriam from Chicago. I'm calling because everybody seems to be comparing the Natasha situation to the Jasenia situation. But I definitely think the situations are very different. Chris just did what you're supposed to do in Bachelor in Paradise, while Brendan actually like manipulated and had like this whole plan, and the words he used when talking to Natasha, like it was all pretty bad. So yeah. All right, thanks. Bye.
Thanks so much for the call there. Yeah, I mean, you got a point there. Chris was playing the game on the beach. Brendan played the game before he got to the beach. That's kind of the difference there. Now, did Chris bump Harrison's with Alana before going on the show? Stir Crazy says Chris and Alana had the same plan to get followers. So that might be true there. Sandra Peters says this caller is 100% right. All right, got some great callers calling in. We'll keep the party going. Oh, Ebony's calling back from Baltimore.
Hello, this is Ebony from Baltimore again. So as far as my thoughts on Becca and Thomas, I'm not really liking that pairing. I know it's giving me Amanda and Joss vibes. Something about that is just going to end horribly, especially for Becca. Like, I don't know. I think she just has horrible taste in men. Something is just not adding up with that. I'm not liking it at all. I also don't think the whole Riley, Joe, Jasenia thing was necessarily bullying. I think just it was heightened for dramatic effect. I mean, granted, all of them said what they said. And I just think some people just don't handle confrontation well. People come at them and they don't know how to defend themselves, so they just crawl in their shell a little bit and just don't even defend themselves. Like, I feel like if Chris pulled a Thomas and owned up to a shit, then it would be a little better. I don't know. That's just me thinking about that. But thank you. Bye.
Ebony in Baltimore. Yeah, I can't sit still. My legs are. I'm feeling really. I just got really like bothered over here. Yeah, I normally for the 10-hour live stream I just sat the whole time, but my legs. I think I need to stretch or something. Yeah, I think Chris, in hindsight, he's not famous enough in Bachelor Nation to just live, to like do anything with his time on the show. Like maybe he got a few extra followers, but he didn't get a great storyline. I think it would have been better if he didn't quit. Then again, it could have been. Christine says Dave's butt's getting sore. It's not that my butt's getting sore. I've just got I don't know. I'm just not feeling it right now. I need one of those standing desks that can just stand up here and do my thing. But I got my khakis on, really showing off the legs. I got my legs showing off here. If you really want to see, got my legs. Did squats yesterday. Okay, here we go. Sit on the floor. Bring us with you. If I went down to the floor, I don't think you'd be able to see me down there. That's where Boone lies. Boone will want to, pets and stuff. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the next voicemail here. Nice, good one. Try to play the next voicemail.
Hi, this is Priya from Seattle, and so I'm in the West Coast, so I haven't seen this whole Chris thing. I've just seen clips or Chris and Alana thing, but I just wanted to say I think the reason that people didn't respond as strongly were for two parts. One is that they didn't see everything that Brenda did. The worst things that the audience has reacted to, or at least for me personally, is the things he said, how he said it, and in the things he was trying to whisper and get away with. And so in that little exchange between him and Natasha, he's basically trying to gaslight her and saying, well, I said we were just friends, but I wanted you to do this, that, and the other. And she's saying, no, you didn't. But you can see him creating this narrative, hoping that that's what they're going to cut into it. And I can see him telling everyone else in Paradise, oh, I just wanted Natasha to do well and I like her as a person, yada, yada. And so they don't, just like you keep saying, you thought that Natasha was in on it. I don't know how much the others realized just, what the agreement was or the understanding was between her and Brendan. And I think only after the fact are they seeing it, as well as as the audience and Natasha herself. And so I think that's the difference. Also, it's the reaction of the two women, because Jasenia obviously reacted and was hurt and was visibly upset, while Natasha was very strong. And I don't think that it's fair to her that she had to be. And I think that she did try to, ask for Ivan to kind of stand up for her. But if people don't see someone visibly upset, and obviously Brendan seems like a very manipulative, very charming person that they're all supposedly friends with, they're not going to want to assume that he was as kind of malicious and, awful as he was, because they didn't see that, and she's not going around trashing him, quote unquote, exposing him, and she probably didn't even at that moment know the worst of the things that he was saying, behind her back or, with Piper. So I think it's just a little bit different, because people are reacting in proportion to what they're viewing and what they're witnessing, and I think everything the audience and myself personally reacted to the roast was the things that they were saying and how they were saying it, in either private conversations between each other or with Piper herself. And so I think that's the reason, and thank you, bye.
What a dismount on that voicemail. You ran as fast and as hard as you could for 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and then you got off the phone so fast. I salute you for that. That's how you do it. That is a good voicemail. I love you guys. I do. I love that everyone says bye. You guys, you bring me so much freaking joy. All right, Catherine in Florida. Let's go to you.
Hey, Dave. This is Catherine from Florida. I was late to watching the show tonight. I'll be honest with you. I fell asleep literally 20 minutes before the show started. I was exhausted from work and ended up waking up late. And I was like, crap, I gotta watch the show. So literally just finished it. I tuned into the live stream and saw that you were still there. So I figured I would still call in. So before the very end, the preview for the next episode showed on, when they were talking about how, Brendan and Piper were doing the exact same thing that Chris and Alana were doing, I was thinking the exact same thing the whole time. I'm like, why is nobody caring about the whole Brendan and Piper situation? But then it dawned on me that, people like Brendan. The people in the house, they like Brendan. And the girls, they like Piper. So nobody liked Chris. That's why they had no issues telling him off like that, and they don't even know Alana. So they said, screw it, get out of there. But can we talk about how Alea Benavides, I think is her last name, is on the show now? That made my whole night. I absolutely adore her. I followed her before she was on The Bachelor because, as you know, I'm in the whole pageant system. So I knew of her before, and I think she's just the sweetest girl. She got a terrible edit on Peter's season.
You're right.
But I absolutely adore her, and I cannot wait to see everything that happens with her. Also, it surprised me that clip where it was Marissa when she was on the beach and she was like, I just want to go home. This whole time we thought that was Becca, and it was actually Marissa. That threw me off that she was freaking out that much. Also, I feel bad for Demi with the whole Kenny situation because, all of a sudden Kenny and Mari are, making out again. All right, dude, come on now. They're saying that they would leave the beach with each other right then and there. Dude, you just went in the boom boom room with Demi 2 days ago. Chill. But whatever.
I got the voicemail just shut off. Keep going here.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see next week's episode. I'm disappointed that we're dropping down to only one episode a week, but I'm also really excited for football to start. So, there's that. Go Steelers. All right, guys. I will talk to you later.
Go Steelers. Bye. Thank you so much. Yeah, Alaya Benavides is coming on. We're very excited for her. Oh man, we have so many people in the chat room right now, but I think I need to get going, guys. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to return for the 10 p.m. chat, but I really do need to boot my systems down and go over there and take care of some other things out there. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to come back for the 10 o'clock, but I do want to get out of here and just restart my system. I got so much going through there. I'm really just, Stir Crazy says, who is Alaya? Alaya Benavides was on the show, and I believe she had issues with Victoria Parker, who I don't know why anyone took Victoria Parker's side, but after that, Alaya kind of left the show, came back, and then left again. But she was always nice and sweet in my book, so I'm excited for her to come back. Yeah, I'll be back at 10 p.m., guys. I'm just going to get out of here and restart the engines just because, like I said, I've been battling. I know you guys can't see it on your end, but I've just been battling these tech issues this whole time. So I think we're just going to need to restart this and get it going again. So please hit the like button on the way out. And let's see, leave a voicemail for the next live stream if you want. And for those that, we'll have plenty of content coming tomorrow. Lots going on. They officially announced the Dancing with the Stars cast tomorrow. We'll see if there's any additions other than Matt James. Wondering if maybe they do announce Chris Harrison. I think we would have found out by now if that was the case, but a boy can dream. We'll have to see how it all goes. Again, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hit the like button on the way out. I made 5 videos today, so if you want some content, go check out the earlier videos, and I'll be back at 10 p.m. just under 90 minutes from now. All right. Oh, did I just lose a song? I wanted to end on a good song here. Let's get some stanky funk to end on. I can't just leave you guys without some stanky funkiness. So let's do a little bit of that stanky funk. This song's called It's Funk O'Clock. Is it Funk O'Clock? Let's see if I can play It's Funk O'Clock. In the meantime, I'm just going to have to talk randomly until I'm able to get out of here. Boy, how embarrassing to have, I can't begin to tell you how annoying it is to not have control over my system over here. It is really, really frustrating. I've been hitting the play button for the last minute and a half trying to get out of here, trying to dismount here. Funk O'Clock. My computer is not funking with me right now. It's ready to debunk itself. Melissa says, Dave, Alana's story. Does she have a good story? Can it wait? Let's see if it can wait here. I can't even pull it up. My whole system's shutting down here. I might have to go out of here without any actual music playing. No, it looks like I'm about to get fun. Oh, this better be a good song. Good night, Regine. Good night, everyone else. We'll see you guys at 10 p.m. Bye, everybody. I used to play the baritone sax. That's that deep bass saxophone. You guys get me to 100,000 subscribers, and I will buy a baritone saxophone and play it for you guys on air. Bum, 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 ba-dum. It's that stanky instrument. Bum, jump. Ooh, ah. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody hit that like and spike the coconut on to that like button. Lance that bass and caress that burgess. Spike that cookie. And bump your hairy when you do it. Don't forget, subscribe for content. Jerry says, is this still live? Not for much longer. You got 20 seconds left. I'll be back at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to finish this party off. Because it's Funk O'Clock. Shut the funk door. All right, everyone, go funk yourselves, and we'll see you at 10 p.m. Pacific Time. All videos tomorrow. Bye now.